ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome each and every one of you to the BizBash Live Planathon Challenge.
You're basically at what I call a hackathon for event organizers. And so you're going to have basically 30 to 40 minutes to plan an event and pitch it on video.
Essentially, we decided that we were a race production company putting on an event focused really specifically on beta breakers, but we wanted to establish a model that we could take to road races all over the country. So essentially, our premise was reimagining the urban road race. Road races generally in San Francisco has a number: the Nike Women's Half, Beta Breakers, which is notorious. The Golden Gate Half, I think, was just this weekend. There are a number of races, and so at best, they have low community engagement by people who aren't running the races often, and at worst, they have a bad rap. Beta Breakers is a great example. We kept talking about the waste that is generated, so from a sustainability perspective, it's a huge issue. The waste that's in the neighborhood, people drunk on your stoop, the road shortages, the road shut down. So we really wanted to figure out a way to really improve and enhance the community experience, but also for the race production companies, improve the runner experience, right? Runners have fatigue, and so if you're going to run a race twice or 3 times, you might not come back. So we wanted to improve and enhance the race experience. So we wanted to look at that using innovation and as really sort of a central platform, and having one sort of app that we could leverage, focus on 3 specific areas. So sustainability is a huge one, community engagement, and localization.
Many of you have touched on today, and you kind of see gamification is really big today. And it's something that I think as planners we all see too. It's like challenging us to think differently about our events. So we wanted to take that element and mix it with a little bit of behavior science and kind of what drives people to want to do better and kind of increase their involvement. So taking this app platform and creating the customer community engagement, around this through the different devices and portals.
So Beta Breakers is the example. We know that they have a ton of corporate sponsors already, and obviously the ubiquity of Fitbit in today's conversation, they're not on our list. But we also looked at other corporate partners like your Apple Watch or the Apple Fitness app, which in some cases is probably tracking your steps right now and you don't even know it. So having those fitness tools is an important part of the integration, but also social tools: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We have a Twitter staff on hand, and we know that the branding element of that is really important. The social engagement aspect is crucial as well. So when we look at something like sustainability, we want to take something like the waste pickup, and we want to take a corporate partner and say, Twitter, you're going to adopt a mile of Beta Breakers, and you're going to clean up that mile of Beta Breakers, and your employees are going to accrue steps for those, and whether that means that it's an employee grant back to the charity of their choice that Beta Breakers already supports, or it just means that they get time off. It's a great opportunity for them. The second piece of that is community engagement. So we know that the runners, we want them to frequent local businesses. People come in out of town, and so using an app like PayPal that helps you locate local businesses that you can pay with just your phone gives you an opportunity to engage with local businesses post-race. The other piece of that is we want community members who are not running the race to use their Fitbit. For example, I don't know how many of you guys have your Fitbit on you or actually use it, but every week or weekend you can accept a challenge from your friends, like the Work Week Challenge, which I work from home, so it means I'm like 10 steps to the refrigerator. And they're like, oh, it's 4,000 steps before noon because I was writing BART. And so for me, accepting that challenge means, first of all, I better get my behind off the couch, but it also means that suddenly I'm engaged in something that I wouldn't normally be because I work from home. And so the idea is you could opt in to the Fitbit Beta Breakers Challenge, even as a community member, and say the mainline goal is to walk 10,000 steps. As a community member, that Saturday, I decide to get up, out, walk from my house in no way to the race, and I've accrued 10,000 steps, and suddenly I get a notification on my phone that says, guess what? Thanks for walking 10,000 steps in support of Beta Breakers today. You're invited to the Beta Breakers Finish Line Festival. Get 10,000 more steps, and you've got a free beer from Lagunitas, who's one of the sponsors. So that's sort of an important part of our goal, is to both encourage the community to participate, but also encourage runners to integrate and invest in the local community around them.
Great.
So I think fundamentally our premise is we want to take what is an inconvenience and turn it into an experience.
That's great.